Hello dear students, in today's class we shall discuss about the mechanism of ester hydrolysis. Mechanism of ester hydrolysis. So the esters can be hydrolyzed by refluxing the esters either with dilute acid or with dilute alkali. So here you can see the ester. So the alkoxide group, so this alkoxide group which is present in the ester, it is a poor leaving group. So therefore water alone cannot hydrolyze the ester. Okay, so by using water we cannot hydrolyze the esters. So because this the alkoxide group is a poor leaving group. So when the water esters are hydrolyzed using water, so this group is not going to leave the ester. So therefore water alone cannot hydrolyze the esters. So therefore the hydrolysis of ester should be carried out either in presence of a base or in presence of an acid. Okay, so in case of base catalysis, so that means when the esters are subjected to base hydrolysis, when the hydrolysis is carried out in presence of a base, so the base will produce the OH minus ions. So the OH minus ions produced by the dissociation of the base, it is a powerful nucleophile when compared to the water. Okay, so the base catalysis of the esters, so we call it as the saponification. So when the esters are subjected to saponification or the base catalysis, so they will going to form the salts of the acids. Okay, so when it comes to the hydrolysis of the esters by using a dilute acid, so that is acid catalysis. So in case of acid catalysis, what happens? The reaction, the acid catalyzes the hydrolysis, okay, by making the carbonyl carbon. So this carbon more positive. So when esters are subjected to the acid catalysis, so this acid will catalyze the reaction by making this carbonyl carbon more positive. So therefore the carbonyl carbon is more susceptible to the attack by the nucleophile. Okay, so when the esters are subjected to the acid hydrolysis, so the carbonyl carbon will become more positive. So therefore the nucleophiles can easily attack on the carbonyl carbon. Okay, so this acid catalysis of the esters, it is a reversible reaction. Okay, reversible reaction, and it is practicable only when the equilibrium is shifted to the right. So that means the formation of the products. Okay, so next let us discuss about the mechanism of ester hydrolysis, acid and base reactions. So first let us discuss about the BAC2 mechanism. So this BAC2 stands for bimolecular. So this 2 indicates it's a bimolecular reaction. Okay, so bimolecular acyl oxygen bond fission. So this stands for base catalyzed. So the cleavage of the acyl oxygen. Okay, so BAC2 stands for bimolecular acyl oxygen bond fission base catalyzed reaction. Okay, so this reaction takes place in 2 steps. So the step 1, so the nucleophile which is produced by the dissociation of the base will going to attack on the carbonyl carbon. So the base, the OH minus ion of the base will going to attack on the carbonyl carbon of the ester. So this step is slow. So therefore the first step in this reaction, it is the rate determining steps. So the slowest step of the reaction is called as the rate determining step. So therefore in the BaC2 mechanism, so the step 1 is the slowest step. So therefore it can be called as the rate determining step. So here let us see how the OH minus will going to attack on the carbonyl carbon. So this is the ester. So the OH minus, so that is the nucleophile. So this nucleophile will going to attack on the carbonyl carbon of the ester. So simultaneously what happens, the double bond between the carbonyl carbon and the oxygen will going to break. Okay, so that results in the formation of a tetrahedral intermediate. So when the nucleophile attacks on the carbonyl carbon of the ester, resulting in the formation of a tetrahedral complex, also tetrahedral intermediate. So this is a tetrahedral intermediate. So this is the step 1. So that is formation of a tetrahedral intermediate. So next let us see the second step in this mechanism. So that is the cleavage of acyl oxygen bond. So the step 2 is the cleavage of acyl oxygen bond. So here in the step 1, a tetrahedral intermediate has been formed. So in the second step what happens? So the carbonyl, the oxygen, so the acyl oxygen bond, okay, so that will go into break. So this step, the second step, is the fast step. So therefore the step 1 can be called as a rate determining step. So in the, for this mechanism, so the step 1 is the rate determining mechanism. Okay, so in step 2 what happens? So the acyl oxygen bond will go into break. So first let us write the tetrahedral intermediate which is formed in the step 1. So this is the tetrahedral intermediate formed in the step 1. So this reaction is fast. So the cleavage of acyl oxygen bond. R dash O minus S R dash OH. So when this bond breaks, okay, when this bond breaks, so the H plus ions which is produced, okay, so that will attach to this O minus and forms an alcohol, and this oxygen, when this bond breaks, this oxygen will get the electron and it becomes O minus. Okay, so this reaction, so let us discuss about the kinetics of this reaction. So this reaction follows the second order kinetics. Okay, so second order kinetics. So that means the rate of this reaction depends, the rate constant is given by the concentration of ester into the concentration of OH minus. So that means the rate of this reaction depends on the concentration of both the reactants, that is ester, and also it depends on the concentration of the nucleophile. Okay, so when an ester with a chiral R group is hydrolyzed, an optically active alcohol is obtained. Okay, so if alkyl oxygen bond is cleaved, then racemalized alcohol would have been obtained. So because R plus, the carbocation, would be free then. So an optically active alcohol can be formed only when the acyl oxygen bond is cleaved. Okay, so this is about the mechanism of BaC2 mechanism. So next, let us discuss about the acid catalyzed hydrolysis of ester. So that is AAC2 mechanism. So that AAC2 stands for bimolecular acyl oxygen fission acid catalyzed reaction. So this 2 indicates it's a bimolecular reaction. So AC indicates the acyl oxygen bond fission, and this A indicates it's an acid catalyzed reaction. So in the step 1, the first step, so the proton, so which is produced from the dissociation of the acid, will attack on the ester to form a carbocation intermediate. So that is, so let us write the ester. So there are one lone pair of electrons on the oxygen atom of the ester. So ester, so the proton which is produced from the dissociation of the acid. Okay, so this proton, so that will going to attack on the ester. So this reaction is fast. So when proton attacks on the ester, so that results in the formation of a carbocation intermediate. So that is, so this is the carbocation intermediate. Carbocation intermediate. Okay, so next step, that is the step 2. So in the second step, what happens, so the water will going to add to the carbocation intermediate. So the addition of water to the carbocation intermediate, so results in the formation of a tetrahedral intermediate. So this step is reversible and also it is slow. So therefore the second step of this mechanism is a rate determining step. So the second step is the addition of water to the carbocation intermediate. So this is carbocation. So this is the reversible process. So the water will going to add to the carbocation. So that results in the formation of a tetrahedral intermediate. So this step is fast. So this is the tetrahedral intermediate. Tetrahedral intermediate. So next let us see. So the third step. So in the third step, so the cleavage of the acyl oxygen bond takes place. So this reaction, this step is fast. So this is the third step. So this oxygen acyl oxygen bond cleavage takes place. Okay, this is third step. So next in step 4, what happens? The deprotonation takes place to form carboxylic acid. So the deprotonation takes place to form the carboxylic acid. So the alcohol is formed here. So in the fourth step, the carboxylic acid is formed by the deprotonation. Okay. So that is RC. So deprotonation takes place. Okay. So deprotonation takes place to form the carboxylic acid. Okay. So this reaction also follows the second order kinetics. Second order kinetic. So that is the rate of this reaction depends on the concentration of the ester as well as the concentration of the protons, that is H plus ions. So when water acts as the solvent. So next let us discuss about the mechanism of ester hydrolysis of acid catalyzed alkyl oxygen cleavage. So previously we have discussed about the acyl oxygen bond cleavage. So now we shall discuss about the alkyl oxygen bond cleavage reaction. So the mechanism for this acid catalyzed reaction is given by AAL1 mechanism. So this one stands for the unimolecular reaction. Al represent the alkyl oxygen bond fission, and this A represents acid catalyzed reaction. So that is unimolecular alkyl oxygen bond fission acid catalyzed reaction. So this reaction will follow the SN1 pathway. So that is nucleophilic substitution unimolecular reaction pathway. So here the esters which undergo this mechanism, okay, for the hydrolysis, so they will form a stable carbocations. Okay, so the stable carbocations are formed through the alkyl oxygen cleavage. So when the alkyl oxygen, so this alkyl oxygen cleavage takes place, a stable carbocation is formed. Okay, so that takes place only in presence of the concentrated sulfuric acid. So the alkyl oxygen bond cleavage takes place in presence of concentrated sulfuric acid, because when this alkyl oxygen bond cleavage takes place, so they form a stable carbocation. So therefore only, so they will go, the bond alkyl oxygen bond will go into break. So that takes place, that too in presence of carbon, that is concentrated sulfuric acid. So this reaction, the rate of this reaction, that is mechanism, so that depends only on the concentration of the ester. So therefore it's a unimolecular reaction. So let us see its mechanism. So the acid hydrolysis, so this step is fast. So this step is slow. So this is the carboxylic acid. So deprotonation takes place to form alcohol. So this is the mechanism for AAL1 mechanism.